Hello right bags, it's Jade. Welcome to the survival show today, which is pretty much going to be taken over by zombies. I know you may be a bit sick of them in survival games, but hey ho, it's pretty much the go-to generic enemy, and some games get it right, whereas some maybe get it a bit wrong. Including news about DayZ absolutely blowing up on the Xbox One now it's in the Games Pass. Obviously you're seeing State of Decay 2, a new anniversary update. We've got information as well about Deadside, they have a wipe coming. Dead Matter has got a closed alpha and it's going to be happening very soon. If you saw my video yesterday I gave you some details about that. Also Survive the Nights, another one I've been taking interest in, like the look of, and a game called Outbreak New Dawn. Another game made by the infamous creator of War Z. But don't worry, it's not just zombies, I've also got news about Rust and the vehicles, how you can actually go and try the vehicles out for the first time yourself, and it coming to the PlayStation 4. Also taking a look at Conan Exiles getting an update today, Memories of Mars, plus hot off the press, The Long Dark has just released its next survival update for PC, Xbox, and I do believe the PlayStation 2 day right now. As always, timestamps for you ratbags who don't want to watch the whole video, and let's go, it's all here, it's the survival show. Conan Exiles has received a patch today for Xbox and the PlayStation 4, pretty much catching up with all the PC hotfixes they had last week. Obviously the Followers update did bring some more fixed problems and issues that maybe they didn't catch on the test live servers, and obviously the new DLC, the Architects of Argos, maybe brought some issues too. And lots of server crashes. They fixed some exploits to do with server crashing, and they fixed thralls or followers not responding to your commands to attack under certain circumstances, as well as thralls randomly teleporting. They've also fixed the issue that your followers would die of falling damage. That was a big one. I saw a lot of you guys complaining about that. You took your rhino or whatever it was up a mountain and it fell off a cliff and just went splat. Also, the fixed horses and rhinos actually bumping into players when they follow, so you're not going to be pushed off a cliff yourself. And there was a bit of criticism that this update did make performance run quite substantially worse on PC, but it looks to have been corrected and fixed now. It's exactly the same update on Xbox, there don't seem to be any differences or changes. As ever, if you want more details and info about Conan Exiles, particularly recaps on how to play, Kaya on Fire has been helping me out with my art content. She is pretty much a dedicated Conan YouTuber as well as some other survival games. Go and check her out and see some really good guides. Even if you think you know everything there is to know about Conan Exiles, I'm pretty sure you'll learn a thing or two. So definitely go and check out some of Conan Exiles videos. Memories of Mars has got another update on PC and it's probably going to hit Xbox and PlayStation in a couple of weeks. The last update did only take around 2 to 3 weeks to hit. It's pretty much bug fixing and performance issues mostly addressed in this one. There's quite a nice lot of changes here. Lots to do with placing building pieces and gaps in the terrain. And lots to do with performance on the server netcode. How are you guys feeling about Memories of Mars? I did list it in my top 30 survival games on console, but it wasn't placed very high as it did just lack a bit of content for me. And it didn't have the full PvP experience I maybe thought it would. But you let me know how much you're enjoying it, and if you haven't checked out my best survival games on console, make sure you go and watch that video now. State of Decay has got an anniversary update today. It's 2 years ago that it first came out. There's a contact pack full of items. In this pack there's going to be brand new speeds for reloading firearms and refueling and repairing vehicles. More improvements to combat with the juggernauts, this time on melee weapons. They're going to have better improvements for the AI in combat, and new beneficial community events driven by survivors with good morale. Here you can see kind of what's going to be happening in the update weapons pack as well. You'll get these by scavenging around. You've got a beetle mallet, a heirloom kanda, ancestral tower, so basically a big set of blades, as well as an industrial wrench. Looks like lots of these can be gotten by completing quests for the bounty broker. And there's a bunch of other hotfixes and improvements they've done. I'm not necessarily going to list it all, but you can see a lot has gone into it. Deadside has had a bit of an up and down start. It pretty much launched to critical acclaim, i.e. the Steam reviews aren't negative, they're pretty doing alright for themselves, and lots of you guys are saying that you've enjoyed it. Feels like a cross between DayZ and Escape from Tarkov. But they have had issues with cheaters, most notably speed hackers, as well as duplication glitches and cheats. So it looks like they're going to be wiping the inventories of everyone because of them issues. They're going to be wiping all boxes, all storage units, all loot stashes and base storages as well. Your bases won't be wiped though, so your structures will still be there, but any actual storage options, they will be gone, including the safe zone storages. Your reputation points are also going to be wiped as well. It's a bit crap, but it is expected during early access. I'm not going to blare them out too much, and hopefully it means that their recent enabling of anti-cheat software does do the job and they won't see any more of this happen in the future. In my review of DeadSide or First Impressions, I labelled it as just a pretty generic game at the moment. Definitely in need of a lot more content, but for sure I'm going to be checking this out upcoming in the next few months to see how many improvements are going into it, and it does look like they're obviously updating the game quite frequently at the moment. So a few weeks ago I detailed what Survive the Nights has been up to. The survival zombie apocalypse game has been steadily making progress in the last few months since it came into early access. This game was in alpha for a long time being developed, and it finally hit Steam last year, or a few months ago I should say, and it is getting continued support, obviously as it should. The new update is going to be adding brand new vehicles to the game. Just now they've added obviously a police station to the world map. And obviously alongside that police station, they are going to have their own police trucks. The 4x4 and a pickup truck will be new introductions, with the pickup truck having an additional variant. They're also going to be adding high beams to it as well, so it's pretty cool. I like the army look of this one. You can see it just nestled inside with the headlights on. They're also adding farming to the game, so you're going to be able to do it into plant pots, which is pretty cool. It's good to see they're adding some of this stuff. And I like the idea that you can actually put it in pots. Whole host of different vegetables. I'm not going to go through it, but you get the idea. They're also adding new structure designs or layouts, making it a bit more fleshed out and a bit more believable. Craftable torches are coming, yes. You'll be able to use it as a weapon as well, obviously, as giving you some light. All in all, good stuff from these guys. They're not like the biggest development team going, but they are making steady progress with frequent updates improving the game. I'm definitely going to give this a try. I thought it was a decent little game, and I do believe it's on sale as well. It's only £10. I would actually say this could be something worth trying out if you're already a bit sick of DeadSide and can't wait for Dead Matter. So yesterday I gave you my opinion on Dead Matter's progress. Their latest development vlog number 11 details a lot of stuff that's happening, pretty much expanding the first main stages of the world, how they brought in more developers and have been working on a lot of the systems. What I didn't get right apparently was the release date of the closed alpha that they're having. If you back this game on their crowdfunding sites, you will get a key to the closed alpha, and that closed alpha is coming in this June. Now, I say this now, lots of developers have done this in the past, stated dates for them and then delayed it last minute, and it's also happened to Dead Matter. I'm pretty sure they were originally planned for the alpha to come out last year, but they do seem pretty confident. I was talking a bit in Discord today with a lot of the try-hard backers, bless them, and they were correcting me in saying that it will be coming out in June, and even the devs did say that they are bringing out the closed alpha this June. So it's great that lots of people are going to get a chance to play it. Like I said, I'm not too sure if there's going to be any sort of NDA, whether or not people will be able to stream it. I just imagine it must be closed and there won't be too much going around. But who knows? If it is coming out this June, I'll be all over it, hopefully. Like I was telling you guys yesterday, this is pretty much my great big hope for a decent survival zombie experience. There's just been way too many jankiness with some of the games I've played lately, or they've just ended up being a bit big at the beginning and dying off too quickly. So I'm really hoping Dead Matter bucks that trend. It's looking good though. They've got a vaulting system in it, brand new guns, new ways to heal, as well as loads of improvements to driving and loads of animations and stuff like that too. So I'm really excited about Dead Matter. Absolutely going to keep you guys up to date on any further dev vlogs. And just an F1, an interesting article on PC Gamer talking to the guy that made the DayZ. I did tell you guys this is going to be pretty much the zombie survival takeover show. It's made by a guy that made the DayZ, and the DayZ was pretty much a bit of a shameless rip-off of DayZ back in the day, but ever since then the creator has released a game after game, pretty much reusing the same assets and the same style. Lots of accusations of him being a bit of a con man, or certainly someone that maybe got the most out of these purchases on the Unreal or the Unity store. Now his latest game, The Outbreak New Dawn, has just dropped in an alpha, and it's the usual story. You can go and support the game on their private site by giving them PayPal, etc. So a bit of a dodgy one. The gameplay looks okay, you know, it is what it is. It's nothing too massively overexciting or brand new. Pretty much like a lot of the survival games I've been showing just in this video alongside DeadSide and maybe Survive the Nights. And it does look like they are leaning towards the deadside style of things, where you will compete in events and there will be safe zones. There's going to be mission structures to it as well. Definitely one to maybe hesitantly just look at, even for the meme levels, as they are still reusing assets from their last game. But I say this, the DayZ game itself is actually incredibly popular. Supposedly it's had 25 million people buy it and download it. In fact, it's really popular in like Asia. Maybe it'll be 4th or 5th time lucky for the creator, where he gets a game that's maybe not considered just a rip-off or a clone and actually succeeds and gets developed a bit more. With this one, they're promising that the zombie AI is going to be much more like you would see in the World War Z movie, with lots of them running at you. And you can see here there's lots of carnage with so many of the zombies. I quite like that idea, it looks good. World War Z, obviously, the game has just been out, the shooter, but it didn't really have a lot of the survival aspects a lot of people wanted. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that article. It's definitely worth a little read. It's interesting to see how someone who's been tarnished with the tag of a con man, what he does and reacts, and what kind of life he lives making these types of games. In fact, according to the article, it's the 7th game he's worked on in a number of years. It's barely a news story, but lots of the news outlets are reporting that DayZ has hundreds of thousands of players playing it since it joined the Xbox Games Pass recently. Well, duh, normally when a game does go free to play or as part of a subscription service, it will get some people actually playing it. Now, Bohemia Games are pretty impressed with this themselves, cooing that hardcore survival game is flourishing now more than ever. Yet they've taken away the development teams away from the game, and they're putting out less updates this year than they did last. Definitely some of you guys have taken to the comment section to argue your point that recently when I was criticising DayZ, that this is a sign that the game is still going to be supported. Yep, I've not doubted that. I did not say the game wouldn't receive any updates, but with the closure of a big studio that had a helping hand in getting DayZ on console, a skeleton crew being left there, and a lot of inexperience with most of the crew going on to work for a rival company, I definitely don't think the updates are going to be thick and fast. Anyway, Bohemia go on to talk about how they never lost faith in DayZ. I love that Eurogamer's only video that they've got something to do with Bohemia is like from years ago when Dean Anthony Hall was still working there. Obviously he's running his own studio now and he's made a big deal of the fact that they're making a brand new survival game. But yeah, if you haven't tried DayZ, give it a go. It's a great experience the first few times, running around, dying of hunger or thirst, or being shanked by the first player you run into. They have been adding more servers to it on the Xbox version to keep up with demand. Again, I don't know why they didn't do this before it came to the Games Pass. But either way, that criticism's still going to be there, that they're just not supporting a game that supposedly is now being played by more players than ever. Sort it out, Bohemia. Give people a proper roadmap of when to expect these next updates. Maybe do a showcase stream or show people what you're working on. So Rust has finally added the cars. This was broke last week by the usual suspects giving info about the updates coming for PC, and it's now going to be in a special beta branch. So the way that Rust works with their updates, they have special beta testing. If that goes well, it then goes into staging, which is the general testing for everything, and then if that goes well, it gets pushed to live service for all servers, all of the game pretty much. The new post details exactly how you can gain access to that beta, and I will be giving it a try for myself and see what's going on. They want to see how the cars and vehicles fit into the game. There's a whole host of different configurations. You'll basically be able to find 3 kind of different frames and then put all sorts of different modules on it. You can create flatbed trucks. You can create double engine trucks or cars. You can even have more than one driving seat on one vehicle. Currently right now they're going to have 2 servers running. One's going to be US, one's going to be EU. This is the IP numbers. You go into the Rust staging from Steam and then go to the beta branch. Right click on the staging branch, go to properties and then go to betas, and you should be able to find it out here. It's AUX1. That's what you need to start downloading the special beta for it. In fact, I'm going to do that now so it starts downloading. And it will start downloading another version of Rust that you can join and test out the brand new vehicles. Will the vehicles make it in for the console ports? I doubt it. I reckon it'll end up being an update that comes a little bit while later, but you never know. Supposedly, if it all goes well with the vehicles and everything's okay, they're going to keep testing it all throughout June, and then it may come to the big whole rest of the game come July. Obviously, we've got no news about Rust coming out on console, other than, of course, it won't be here until at least after July. Or July onwards, I should say. That's the second half of the year. I have to keep saying this every time. That's when Gary Newman, the creator of Rust, said to expect Rust in the second half of the year. The rest of the post has some good details and a little interview blog with Bill Boorman, who's basically been in charge of vehicles for the last year, getting them all working, how it all works. It looks really cool. You've got different tiers of engine and parts. Cars will spawn with heavy damage. They'll have no fuel, no engine parts, and you won't be able to run in that state. You'll be able to get low tier quality items to repair it and to make it run. And then you'll be able to buy higher tier items at the compound or outpost. And then obviously you can then go ahead and research and craft these at leisure. The higher the parts, the more your vehicle is going to run quicker or more fuel efficient, but you can do a bit of a mix and match. You'll look at the engine and then you pretty much fill it with these 5 slots. You'll be able to repair each module with your repair hammer. And if every part of your vehicle starts getting 0 health, that's when it becomes a wreck and you'll no longer be able to use it. Now you can't craft vehicle modules or new chassis, they have to be found in the world. You can see all the different parts and ways that you can have it. Where you put the modules will affect the weight and the centre of the mass of the vehicle, so some may have better handling depending on where the weight is of the engine. Some are going to obviously have much more storage, and you've got big ones that hold tanks of water at the moment. They're saying that in the future they will maybe look at it adding fuel, so it will hold fuel, but at the moment the game itself doesn't view fuel as a liquid. Now if you're running a server yourself, which is something I'm going to look into, you can spawn these all in, and here's the spawn commands. All in all, great update, can't wait to see where to go with this. I think this is exactly what Rust needs. More anarchy, more massive confusion when people start zerging you. I think it's going to add something completely different to the gameplay that we've got right now in Rust. And of course the big news is that yes, it's definitely been worked on a PlayStation. Again, I feel like I have to repeat this. Although FaceBunch have never said it's not coming, the perception is that betas normally only really run or game previews on the Xbox. Now there have been some betas obviously for big AAA games, but you can clearly see here added a check for controllers not being registered to a PlayStation before input checking. So obviously it will be on the PlayStation version just to put people's minds at ease. As ever, the first moment we get any news, I'll be there to tell you guys. And finishing off with The Long Dark, just received its brand new survival update today on PC. I do believe Xbox and PlayStation as well. Fearless Navigator is literally hot off the press. This latest update to the survival mode adds a bunch of improvements to traversing the map. You'll be able to get more details now when you use charcoal on your map to list more status and areas of importance. You'll also be able to set up supply caches for yourself where you can build rock piles to hold some of your most valuable items. They've also added spray cans where you can mark trees and mark locations with notes and reminders about what it contains, whether it's dangerous or whether or not you should be going in a certain direction. A load of great stuff to enhance the travel and obviously the exploration of the game. I included The Long Dark in my top 10 best survival games to play on console. So if you haven't tried it yet, absolutely try and pick it up. Continuously updated every few months or so on the survival mode, and maybe a little bit slower, but they are eventually going to get around to finishing off the story episodes that they're also working on. They've also added a auto walk function, so for people that have problems with their wrists or pressing buttons too much, you'll be able to do this now and it'll help alleviate a lot of stuff, as well as a whole host of bug fixes and quality of life improvements made to the game. So go and check it out. Like I said, it's just off the press, just went live as I was finishing off this video. So there we go guys, what do you think about that heavily zombie influenced survival news this week? What one are you most looking forward to play, or what intrigues you the most? How hyped are you for the Rust vehicles? If you're going to be joining it, let me know. Maybe you can help me get a vehicle together later on. As ever, for the best in survival games news, make sure you locked onto my channel. We've got notifications turned on, and go and check out that top 30 console survival games. I will be doing the Steam version very soon. Until then, laters!